I'm Lorraine Elliott and I run a food blog called Not Quite Nigella, which I've had for about 7 years now. It feels amazing to connect with my readers. My readers are what propel me to create great recipes. It's kind of like a conversation. So I talk to them and they talk back. They've asked me lots of questions about storage and how to organise my kitchen. Well, my kitchen is like my office because I spend most of my time there. So IKEA invited me here to test out their kitchen, and so what I'm doing is I'm cooking a couple of recipes. No matter what you use the kitchen for, they're always like little tips and tricks that make things easier. This is one of my favourite things because it means you can reach everything right from the back. Organising drawers is really important to me because it means that I can grab something that I want straight away without having to scramble around in the drawer. It's a good idea for organising the drawer. I really like open kitchens because I like when I have guests over to be able to talk to them and I don't want to be separated from them. Having a social kitchen is really important. Having a chalkboard is really useful, especially for me because I develop recipes, but also use it as a shopping list. Well, firstly, I'm going to make a 1-bowl pear cake, which, as the name suggests, can be made all in one bowl. What I do is mix half wholemeal flour with half self-raising flour and some sugar. And then you melt some butter. Then you just whisk an egg in that, mix the whole lot together, and that's the batter. So it's kind of like a sticky cookie dough. And then you just chop up pears. A chef once taught me this great tip, which allows you to take the seeds out of a pear or an apple using a melon scoop. Line a tin with 3/4 of the batter mix, and then you scattle the pears over and then just kind of dollop little bits of the mix on top. Put some vanilla sugar on top and bake it in a 180 oven for 40 or 50 minutes. Because I don't have a lot of space, I like multi-purpose tools. A cake tin that you can make 2 cakes out of, that's great. And a bowl that you can actually use as a jug is also great as well. With this recipe, it's really easy to clean up. Well, a kitchen like this really helps with cleanup because the surfaces are non-porous, so all you have to do is wipe. I love to serve cakes on cake stands because I collect them, and I particularly like glass ones because they make the cake look so pretty. Cakes like this don't last long in my house, not with my husband around, and this is the kind of cake that you definitely want seconds of. With this second dish, we're actually changing the way that we use the kitchen. So we've gone from baking, which is all about precise measuring, to being at the stovetop and making an Asian stir fry, which is all about adding in new flavours and, experimenting. The dish is called beef Sulfur Cow, which is a Filipino dish, and it's a really quick to cook dish made out of beef tenderloin. What you do is you make a sauce out of soy sauce, Worcestershire sauce and oyster sauce, and you just mix those up together. I'm just going to add in a teaspoon of salt. And I also find it really helpful if my spices are close to hand and clearly labelled, because that really saves a lot of time. So I'm going to add in a teaspoon of black pepper and then a teaspoon of sesame oil. And you just stir it around and then pop it in the fridge for 20 minutes. That's all. So I'm just going to wash the chilies. And this is a water-saving tap, which aerates the water, and then you can direct it to go wherever you want, which is quite handy. Or when I'd come home from school when I was growing up, I'd see my mum and she'd have all these plastic containers with chopped up food in them. And I never quite understood why until I started cooking Asian food myself. And then I realised how much easier it was to have everything just ready to throw into the wok or the pan. Well, having a wok is always handy, and making it a really light one, not a particularly heavy one, with 2 handles is really helpful as well. So you fry all these pieces of beef tenderloin, and then you add the sauce, and you just cook it till it's done, which is maybe 3 or 4 minutes. I want readers to see how easy it is to make something really tasty out of just a few ingredients, and you don't need to go out for takeaway or anything like that. You can just make it at home. So there are plenty of easy and affordable solutions that don't cost the earth, like multi-purpose tools, organising your pantry and having things really easy to access. That makes the world of difference with the amount of pleasure that you have cooking. You don't want it to be a chore, you want it to be a pleasure.